Okay, and so we are live again. So this can be considered as a surprise stream, okay, because we usually do not stream at this time, but hey, why not? It is good to sometimes do something that's out of the norm. Okay, so if you're visiting here for the first time, my name is David and I'm your host for the White Sponge live stream. Okay, so on this live stream we are making a game from scratch, so you can see the process. Of how at least I approach making a game. Okay, so right now we are in the middle of sort of creating a consistent font design for the game which we are making, which is Stellar Stars. And Stellar Stars is an arena based roguelite shooter. Okay, and one of the most, or should I say the highlights of the game, is that you can improve your characters in many interesting and fun ways. Okay, so when you level up from defeating enemies, okay, so when you level up from defeating enough enemies, you can choose to improve your character in ways such as jumping higher, running faster, having better loot drop chance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so interesting things that will directly affect how you interact with the environment and the enemies of the game. Okay, so do not think of Stellar Stars as your traditional roguelite or RPG, because that's not what we want. Okay, we want something that is, we want to head in a direction that is not what you would expect usually from a roguelike or something that has RPG elements in it. Okay, so right now this is part of creating a consistent UI on gameplay experience. So we are starting with the game's font. So music. Okay, so the old version looks like this. So we need to recreate this in the font design that we are going to use consistently across the game. So music. Okay, next is background. Okay, so as you might have noticed, or if this is your first time seeing this live stream, that is because this is not when we usually stream. Okay, we usually stream in the morning. Okay, and now it's around 8 PM. Okay, from where I'm from. So we usually stream from around 10:30 a.m. to around 12:30 p.m. So somewhere in the late morning to early afternoons. One, two, three, four. Okay, so today we are just trying something special or something additional, okay, by breaking out of our routine. Okay, by streaming twice a day. So as you can see, we are creating the text from scratch. So this is me hoping that you can definitely feel the love when you play the game. Okay, by the way, I'm drinking some beer, so it might be a good thing for a little bit of alcohol to influence this process. Okay, who knows, it might be fun. Okay, next we need N. Okay, and we'll end it with a D. Okay, so because we are trying to recreate the text, music and background, or the text for the options scene here, so that means that you will be looking at a lot of Photoshop today. Okay, so this is background. Okay, let's move it to the left so that we can align the text. Okay. So this is just a simple trick for creating a better user experience, which is UX. So usually the text on the left has been right aligned and the text on the right is left aligned, so you can immediately differentiate okay, what is what and what does what. So this creates an imaginary line on the left and on the right. Okay, so it helps you to scan horizontally and vertically. Okay, so which makes it easier for you to read whatever is on there. Yeah. Hey, Hey, welcome back, Shredosphere. Okay, I'm not sure if it's the evening or morning for you there, but I hope that you have at least gotten some rest. And yeah, today we are just trying to be we are just trying to do something that's not what we usually do, which is to stream twice and in different time. So maybe doing so will give us some sort of new inspiration, maybe. Oops. Oh, hey, lunch was delicious. Thanks for asking. Did you have lunch or dinner after that? Oh. So I guess our time zones are in reverse. Hey, but it's a good thing that, or should I say, it's important to get ample sleep or rest. Oh. I should call mine fried rice. That is a mixture of rice with roasted pork and some vegetables. Yeah. So you could call it, you could classify it under Chinese food, I guess. Yeah. Oh. And by the way, I haven't had the chance to really try Mexican food. Okay, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying some when I get the chance. Oh, hey, I'm in Singapore, which is just a small dot on the world map. Okay, so it's directly below Malaysia, which is a long stretch of island. And right below it is Singapore. Okay, it's really just a small island. Okay, surrounded by other big countries. Like Indonesia, Australia. Yeah. Okay, L. So since we are here, we are going to create the new text for language, which has not been added to the options screen yet. but we're going to create it here. Oh, okay, that reminds me, is kebab considered as Mexican food? Okay, because I think I've tried some from some restaurants in Singapore, but I'm not sure if they are considered as traditional restaurants. So I'm not sure if what I tried was considered as authentic Mexican food. Okay, so we need a G. Oops. Oh, hey, thanks for clarifying that for me. Oh. Okay, I guess in Singapore, okay, usually we would sort of describe it as a fine country, okay, because okay, you literally have to pay fines, okay, fines, FINES, for things like throwing rubbish maybe along the street outside, or things like drinking on the public train transport. So there are a lot of things that you can get fined on. So we call it a fine country. Okay, and maybe in regards of the weather, okay, Singapore is kind of hot, and that is throughout the entire year, and we do not have seasons. Oh, okay, maybe I should say that we have only one season throughout the entire year, and that is summer. Okay, so in addition to the hotness here, it's also humid. So if you visit Singapore, you will usually, or should I say, it's a common sight to see tourists wearing shorts and slippers, because that's how the weather is over here. Okay, language. Okay, but I guess if you compare Singapore with US, there is one common ground, or maybe one common thing, which is the multicultural and racial society in both countries. And in Singapore, we even have racial harmony day dedicated to celebrating the multicultural and multiracial state of Singapore. As we have multiple races and cultures here in Singapore, so okay, as you can see, I'm Chinese, Singaporean Chinese, and in Singapore there are other cultures / races such as Indians, Malays, Eurasians. What else? Yeah, those are just a few of them. And even within these races, there are other sub-races or maybe different variations of the races. So I couldn't go into detail, but it will take a long time. Language. Okay, unless you are interested, I could tell you more. Okay, let's start with English. Whoa. Hey, that sounds like a okay, so Mississippi sounds like a real life version of the world of Westeros, which is Game of Thrones, where summer and winter are both, or rather both of them last for quite long, especially winter. Oh, okay, you should definitely visit it one day when you have the chance. And like over in the US, okay, one good thing about having a multicultural or racial population is that you can get to taste different or experience different types of food, languages, traditions. Yeah. So that's one of the highlights, I guess. So we are just creating English. I. Oops. Okay, and now we have H. Okay. so we have 0 drop frames. Okay, good. Okay, so the next text that we have to create is, let's see, okay. Okay, these 2 lines of text, which will also include the controller version. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's call this group options navigation. Okay, so we'll start with enter and change. Okay, let me create a new group for this. One, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, by the way, I have already added your name to the white sponge mailing list. Okay, so I'll be sending the newsletter. Okay, so it's a weekly newsletter. So, and it will usually just contain the latest updates on what I'm doing. So you could receive things that are like, for example, maybe a new update for Stellar Stars, or maybe a preview of a new prototype for maybe a new game idea that I have. So those are just examples of what you could see in the White Sponge newsletter. Okay, 1, 2. Okay. 3, 4. Okay.